Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah. This is probably my favourite video to film at the moment, and that is my TBRs. So I'm I'm going to be pulling out of the jar as usual. I don't think I'm going to be able to compete in the Magical Readathon by G at Book Roast this year, which is a shame because I absolutely adore that readathon. It is so interactive, so immersive, and she has done such a wonderful job with giving us a new world and all the little intricacies that go within that. But the reason why I don't think I'm going to be able to compete is, one, if I don't use this, I will forget about it and I will be back where I started, which is too many books to read, no idea where to go. So that's where this came in. It just narrows the choice to a more reasonable number in a month for me. The other reason is if you have seen my other little series that I've got going at the Writer's Diaries, you will know, depending on where I left off, that I'm getting ready to publish my novel, which is A Little Piece of Magic. You'll know that I'm getting ready to publish that. I am hoping for an October release, which means September will probably be more writing heavy than reading heavy. So I want to make my reading as enjoyable as possible, and while Jay's Readathon is the most low-key, low-pressure one I have seen, the fact that if I want to pass, I have to read books in a certain order, or I have to read a certain amount of books, is not the pressure I need to put on myself right now. So that being said, I've read everything that was on my last TBR. I think I read about 8 books, and I'm halfway through the 9th, which was not on the TBR, and I didn't pick it from the jar because it was an Illumicare book and it came in before I updated the jar. So that being said, let's just dive right in and give these a little shaky shake and lose the twine. That's better. So I'll pick 6. No, actually, no, we'll pick 8 again, and we'll see how we go with 8. Okay, The Gifts That Bind Us by Caroline O'Donoghue. Then we have The Gifts That Bind Us by Caroline O'Donoghue, another sequel. This is the sequel to All Our Hidden Gifts, which follows Maeve, who stumbles across a pack of tarot cards, and those tarot cards, in the way the tarot normally does, reveal secrets about herself, and it leads her to her friend who ran away. But obviously it isn't as simple as that. They have a fractured friendship now, and the end of All of Our Hidden Gifts means that there are new things to discover and explore in The Gifts That Bind Us. From the top of my head, I do remember that there is a non-binary or gender fluid character in this, and in YA I think that is so important, because I think this is younger YA from what I remember of the writing style and the way and how old the characters are. So yes, we're dealing with psychics. Stay. They're not going to stay. Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. And then we have Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. We are having a very heavy sequel month, I think. Not that I'm complaining, I have a lot of series on the go. But this is book 2 in the Cassidy Blake series. In this one, obviously this is a sequel, and I think it is a well-known children's story. We follow Cassidy Blake, whose parents are paranormal investigators. I think her father believes, but her mother doesn't, or maybe vice versa. But the series starts in Edinburgh, where Cass actually is the medium. She is the one that can talk to ghosts, and her best friend is a ghost. So there's no real spoilers on the back for this. So, trouble is haunting Cassidy Blake. Undead trouble. Cass is in Paris, where her parents are filming the TV show about the world's most haunted cities. The TV show is fun, but little do they know about the true ghostly danger lurking beneath Paris, in the creepy underground catacombs. Oh, I love a catacomb story. When Cass accidentally awakens a frighteningly strong spirit, she must rely on her still growing skills as a ghost hunter and turn to her friends, both old and new, to help her unravel a mystery. But time is running out, and the spirit is only growing stronger. And if Cass fails, the force she's unleashed could haunt the city forever. And I thought we had pictures, but we don't. So I do enjoy Schwab's writing, whether she's writing YA adult or as middle grade. I do enjoy it. Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. Then we have Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. The legendary Hotel Magnifique is like no other. A magical world of golden ceilings, enchanting why can't I speak today? Soirees, and fountains flowing with champagne. It changes location every night, stopping in the same place only once a decade. When the Magnifique comes to her hometown, 17-year-old Janie hatches a plan to secure jobs there for herself and her younger sister, longing to escape their dreary existence. Luck is on their side, and with a stroke of luminous ink on paper, the sisters are swept into a world of opulence and adventure. But Janie soon begins to notice sinister cracks in the hotel's decadent facade. Who is the shadowy maitre who presides over the Magnifique? And can the girls discover the secret behind the hotel's magic and the real cost of this glittering life? And the more I look at this cover, the more I see. Because I think this is a violin, maybe? But it feels very French. Red Queen by Christina Henry. Red Queen by Christina Henry. This is the sequel to Alice, which is there. And if you don't know, Christina Henry takes classic fairy tales or folk tales and puts her own sort of gothic, darker spin on them. And I absolutely adore anything that is Alice in Wonderland. So in this one, from what I remember, and without fear of spoilers, Alice and Hatcher are in a desolate kind of dystopian world in an asylum, and they break out and things are not as they appear. So I'm guessing in this one Alice learns more about her past because she can't remember anything, and we learn more about Hatcher, and we just carry on in this world, in this story. I have mixed opinions on Christina Henry. I loved the Alice story. I enjoyed The Girl in Red. I didn't really enjoy Horseman at all. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel about her going back into a story that I know. Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. Oh, both The Crown of Oaths and Curses and Rhapsodic are on Kindle Unlimited. So, Rhapsodic. This is book 1 in the Bargainer series. The King of the Night always collects his debts. Calypso Lillis is a siren with a very big problem, one that stretches up her arm and far into her past. For the last 7 years, she's been collecting a bracelet of black beads up her wrist, magical IOUs for favours she's received. Only death or repayment will fulfill the obligations. Only then will the beads disappear. Everyone knows that if you need a favour, you go to the bargainer to make it happen. He's a man who can get you anything you want for a price. And everyone knows that sooner or later he always collects. But for one of his clients, he's never asked for repayment. Not until now. When Callie finds the bargainer in her room, a grin on his lips and a twinkle in his eyes, she knows things are about to change. At first, it's just a chaste kiss, a single bead's worth, and a promise for more. For the bargainer, it's more than just a matter of rekindling an old romance. Something is happening in the other world. Fae warriors are going missing one by one. Only the women are returned, each in a glass casket, a child clutched to their breast. And then there are the whispers among the slaves, whispers of an evil that's been awoken. If the bargainer has any hope to save his people, he'll need the help of a siren he spurned long ago. Only his foe has a taste for exotic creatures, and Callie just happens to be one. I have read War Pestilence by Laura Thalassa, and I did enjoy the style in that, so I'm looking forward to reading that. So, Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Because Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, I have read Mexican Gothic, but Mexico in the 1970s is a dangerous country, even for Mate, a secretary who spends her life seeking the romance found in cheap comic books and ignoring the activists protesting around the city. When her next-door neighbour, the beautiful art student Eleonora, disappears under suspicious circumstances, Mate finds herself searching for the missing woman and journeying deeper into Leonora's secret life of student radicals and dissidents. Mexico in the 1970s is a politically fraught land, even for Elvis, a goon with a passion for rock and roll, who knows more about kidney smashing than intrigue. When Elvis is assigned to find Leonora, he begins a blood-soaked search for the woman and his soul. Swirling in parallel trajectories, Mate and Elvis attempt to discover the truth behind Leonora's disappearance, encountering hitmen, government agents, and Russian spies, because Mexico in the 1970s is a noir, where life is cheap and the price of truth is high. The Crown of Oaths and Curses by J. Bray. I know I need to read the 2 novellas before I start that, but that's fine. Of Oaths and Curses, yes, I know I do need to read the novellas The Sword and the Scepter, I want to say, before I start this. Yeah, The Sword and the Scepter, I need to read those to understand exactly what's going on in here, but from what I remember, Becca from Becca in the Books has just read this, so she'll be able to give you a better synopsis than I can. But in this, we follow Rooksbane Evening Star, who is a witch whose mate is the savage prince in a world where witches and fae have been at odds for decades. That's all I need to know going in. I know that there was some controversy about the second book being released, but hopefully that has calmed down enough for me to actually pick up this book, because it'll be a while before I actually get to the sequel. We know that there's no bones about me and reading sequels right now. And finally, Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. And then we have Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall, and I didn't realise, but this is the lady, I'm assuming lady, who wrote boyfriend and husband material, which I haven't read. Doesn't seem like my kind of thing, but it is getting rave reviews, and this is a sneak peek for my next haul. But Mortal Follies: one cursed debutante, one exiled witch, one wild deal. I'm not sure if this is a series or a standalone, but when I read the back, it spoke to me. So it is the year 1814, and Miss Maylis Mitchell-Moore finds her entry into the highest society of Bath hindered by a curse that begins with her dress unmaking itself at the ball of the season and ends with her life in peril. Surviving the attention of an angry goddess means seeking undesirable allies, and a few allies are less desirable than the brooding Lady Georgiana Landrake. She might have murdered her father, and she's probably a witch. She's certainly bewitching. So I don't know if it is LGBTQ, but we will find out. And admittedly, oh yes, there is a full list of trigger warnings, sensitive themes on here, which, to be fair, I don't normally look at, but it is helpful for them to be there. And it is a floppy book. So I'm very much in my Alexis is a man. My apologies. They use he, him pronouns going by the about, so I do apologise. So yes, Mortal Follies by Alexis Hall. I think that might be LGBTQ. 8 books. 2 that I have in Kindle Unlimited format. The rest in physical, 1 hardback. Not bad going on those stats. We will be continuing 3 series. We won't be finishing any if I read all of this, but a continuation is better than nothing. We are also probably starting at least 2 more series, but we can live with that because the world of fantasy sort of runs on series. Fantasy is a very series-driven genre. But let me know what you're reading down below. If you are taking part in the Magical Readathon from G, I wish you all the best. Hopefully next year I will be able to take part, but just let me know what you're reading down below. Have a chat with me. Is there any books you think I need to prioritise? Is there any that you think I'm not going to enjoy? Just, drop all those chats, drop them all down in the comments and I'll get back to you. So, with that, it's the end of the video. Give it a like if you like it, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.